Welcome to On Production, brought to you by Wrapbook. Today, I'm honored to have Tony Lowe with us. He's a seasoned professional whose career spans across various facets of the entertainment industry. As the president of CMS Productions, Tony has been at the forefront of providing specialized production and union signatory services, catering to the unique needs of creative-based companies. His journey, though, includes pivotal roles from being a CFO and COO for Herzog Cohen Entertainment, managing financials for Control Room's global events like Live Earth concerts, to leading operational and financial management at prestigious firms such as AKQA and Saatchi North America. With a deep understanding of both the creative and operational sides of the industry, Tony's insights are invaluable for anyone navigating the complex landscape of entertainment production. Hey, Tony, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me, Cameron.
All right, so I want to know, could you share with us the journey that led you to found CMS Productions and how your background kind of influenced its inception?
I'm a former CPA and a former entertainment business manager. Had my own, had a prominent firm. We actually, to service some of our television production clients, we started the payroll company Media Services many years ago. At some point in my journey, I decided that I wanted something different. I didn't want to be a high-priced servant for entertainers, and sold my practice to my partners and embarked on a journey that, with twists and turns that led me here. I took a job at Saatchi to help them guide them through some entertainment projects that they had. From that, I went to New York. I call it manage the children in the beginning of their internet days when they had a fledgling internet department. And I got to live in New York in a fabulous townhouse, walking distance from my office, which was great, and met some fabulous people and got exposed to and learned the advertising business. From then, I went to San Francisco, did the same thing for Saatchi in their San Francisco office, and then took a position with AKQA in its formative years. It was a combination of an advertising agency and some digital shops around the world. And that was great and interesting and fun. But at some point in time, I made my way back to Venice, California, where I owned a home and sort of my spiritual place. I had a practice where I held myself out as a CFO, COO for smaller entertainment shops, thus the Live Earth gig, the Herzog gig, and various others. I was even a functioning CFO for A Band Apart, which was Quentin Tarantino's commercial production company. And through that process, I learned a tremendous amount about production. I learned a tremendous amount about the advertising world and its intersection with the entertainment world. At some point in the process, one of our clients wanted to produce commercials that required union signatory, and they didn't want to sign the papers. So my little company joined the IICP and signed the union agreements. And over time, started to get referrals until it got to the point where, okay, I'm going to make this a company, and hired a couple of employees that are now my partners.
That's super interesting. We're going to dig in on that in just a moment, because you said something critical here, which is like union signatory services. I'm sure people are going to be very curious about that. But before we get there, I'm just curious, Tony, when you reflect on your extensive experience, how have you seen the production and financial management needs of creative companies just evolve over the years?
As the commercial production industry and the motion and the low budget feature industry have matured over the years, and similar, and I'm sure the recording industry and other entertainment industries, everything has gotten, as they've grown, everything has gotten sort of tighter and more money conscious. Gone are the days when the artists, trusted their manager to handle everything and then woke up broke. Gone are the days of the big budget, commercials and giant music videos where, everybody was having a good time and at the expense of the client, where they had the madman client had the open checkbook. All those, and at the same time, the rise and strengthening of the entertainment happened. They become very strong and powerful, and in the entertainment industry, wield a lot of influence. So all those factors combined meant the need for sort of greater controls and greater financial controls and greater financial attention and greater attention to budgets and costs and just general tightening. And certainly in the last few years, we've seen a further tightening of requests from advertisers to produce content cheaply.
Interesting. CMS, according to you, focuses on servicing creative-based companies with their own unique production needs. Can you elaborate for us on some of the common challenges these companies that work with CMS face and how you help address them?
Okay. Well, there's two. I'll get into this. I'll get into the signatory part of the business and then the production support business. There's two aspects to CMS. One is signatory, where we're signatory to all of the crew unions contracts, from commercials through low budget features, through SVOD, through filmed live events, anything that requires union crews, we're a signatory. What people are faced challenges is they commonly will try and shoot without union crew or non-union shoots, and the unions, but they're using union members, and the unions call the job in, and then they come, the unions come to the set or contact them, and they're forced to make a switch. So that's a big challenge, because then it costs them money that they weren't anticipating. Through our SAG commercial business, there's a lot of foreign companies, a lot of entities, and a lot of ad agencies that don't want to sign the SAG commercial agreement. They, for a variety of reasons, big companies don't have the infrastructure to handle it, and a lot of ad agencies don't want to be tied to producing content that requires the payment of residuals under the SAG commercial agreement. So therefore, there's a need for a third-party signatory to allow non-signatory companies to hire SAG talent to endorse their product or appear in their commercials. So we solved that problem, or that challenge is overcome. The other side of our business, which is we call production support, we function as the back office of a commercial production company. And all the POs are on our name, the vendor accounts, the payroll accounts, insurance, credit cards, petty cash, all of these services or functions that are necessary for a commercial or a low budget project to be produced, we take that on. And what the problem that solves is for ad agencies and brands, which are now trying to produce content, some successfully, some not, but they're all trying to do it because they need to make more money and pressure from their shareholders, la-di-da. We navigate the corporate bureaucracy for them. They're just paying us for a lump sum, and we're dispersing the money, which their infrastructures are not set up to do. Getting IPG holding company to issue a $5,000 petty cash check for the art department on a commercial is next to impossible. And getting payroll paid on time is very difficult. And we all know that, especially in California, payroll, there are very strict rules about paying crew employees on time. So we sort of step in and solve that problem. Also, for production companies, they don't have to have the overhead, an accounting staff or a business affairs staff. We take that responsibility on. They can grow and expand and contract as their productions levels grow and expand and contract. So those are problems that we solve for everyone. Foreign producers, when they come here to shoot commercials, that generally have celebrities in them. That's why they come here. But they come here to shoot commercials. They can hire us and a local line producer and pay us our fee, which is, a fraction of what they would pay for a production service company. So we're able to make people's lives easier and save them money.
So, Tony, it sounds like, we have a number of different production companies, first and foremost, where it either just doesn't make sense for their business to jump into the deep end of a union relationship, and yet they have a project that requires union labor. And so CMS can help navigate that and provide contract services. And then if I heard you correctly, it sounds like there's also this other component of just, great sound operational management related to the finance of a production company. I'm curious, even outside of your experience of providing these services through CMS, I'm curious, just from your experience of running these businesses at scale and seeing businesses really of all shapes and sizes, what are, in your view, some key financial strategies creative companies should implement to just ensure growth and sustainability?
Good bookkeeping, which generates reliable financial reports that enables management to make decisions. Keeping track of everything and regularly paying attention to it, whether it be weekly or monthly, however. But just numbers tell stories, and they don't lie. They can't lie unless they're manipulated, but so they tell stories. So you need to make sure, it's garbage in, garbage out. You need to make sure that the information going into your accounting is accurate and handled by a competent professional, so that the information that comes out in the form of financial reports is accurate and helps you make decisions. I'm a big believer of running businesses by doing cash flow projections, which can be different from the financial statements. But where, here's your cash, here's all the stuff that's going to come in, and here's all the stuff that's going to go out and what's left over. Because ultimately, I'm going to have profits that I'm going to distribute to my shareholders, or I'm going to have a problem that I need to solve. But the numbers will tell me that.
Both in your career as a CFO and operator, but then also in terms of the work that you do at CMS, really helping to create an efficient financial management solution for your clients. Can you share a case study or examples of where your intervention significantly impacted a project's outcome or a company's outcome just from them working with you and your organization?
And I'll give you examples that we enable producers, creative people to do things on their own that they wouldn't necessarily be able to do. And give an example on a more of a creative scenario, and then a more of a bigger company scenario. But I don't know, the Center for Disease Control has a anti-smoking campaign that goes, you see the smoke coming out of the guy's throat, and they interview people who are suffering from cancer and smoke-related diseases, and they do one campaign per year. And the director of that campaign is creative, and he's signed to a production company, but he has that particular relationship excluded. So he and his producer come to us, and they don't need a company or offices or accounting people. They come to us, and we act as the production company. We contract with the agency. We pay all the bills. We deal with the DGA, we deal with the unions if necessary, and he's able to capture significant, all the markup and the profits related to that job. And it's significant because these jobs have, $1.5 million budget. And so he and his producer, they come to us, they give us a budget, we manage the budget, and, they'll come in under whatever they do, but they get to keep all that money, as opposed to hiring a production company or running it through his existing production company, which would pay him, I don't know, he might have a profit sharing deal on his projects and pay him his directorial fee, but he's going to make far more money by running that independently through us. So, and not have to deal with any nonsense. And, all the bills are paid, the POs are properly administrated, the payroll is properly processed, everything is handled correctly. He doesn't have to worry. And at the end of the project, he gets a lot more money that he would normally receive. So that gives you sort of an individual creative guy needing a solution for a problem. On a larger level, Deutsch LA, big ad agency here in Los Angeles, they years ago started, and they primarily through Post started a production entity called Steelhead, and they've gone from they've moved up into actual production, and they produce several commercials a year, 5, 6, or whatever commercials. Now, their clients are going to your typical, for creative reasons and larger budget reasons or whatever, they're going to your typical Caviars and other large production companies. But for the stuff they produce in-house, we step in and we act as their back office. And that enables them to not have to deal with IPG, the holding company, for payment. And so we can get things done very quickly, and we can help them shoot union stuff. We can help them shoot non-union stuff. And we can help them, navigate and get them credit cards, get them petty cash, everything that they need to produce a commercial without having to deal with their corporate bureaucracy of a public company. And in a public company, you can't issue a credit card to a crew member. You can't get petty cash to, somewhere in Ohio within a day. They're just things that can't be done. You can't set up vendor accounts. You can't get your camera guy paid within 30 days or whatever the rules are. So we take care of all that for them. So that's a bigger agency model. And then you've got the individual small guy, or not small guy, but I mean the individual creative guy who happens to have a project that he can through us.
It makes a lot of sense for things that maybe don't, for businesses or projects that just don't fit the shape of kind of a classic entity. CMS can really seemingly be there for either running the operational side of a production company all the way to just dealing with complex, contracts with unions. And
what we've seen is there's a trend in advertising agencies producing their own content. And that's happening more and more, that they're trying to. There's obstacles, there's creative obstacles, and there's systematic industry perception obstacles, etc. But they're trying to produce their own content. Some successfully, some not so successfully. But that's happening more and more. There's more and more of a trend towards brands, large brands, to bring functions of their advertising in-house. We recently, Chase Bank is leaving, I think they're at Droga 5 something, and they're taking as much functions as they can in-house. They're having difficulties because the bank producing commercials is very difficult. I mean, they're just two completely different cultures and ways of doing things. But there's more and more of those types of situations in the marketplace. So we're there to help facilitate that transition.
Pivoting just a little bit, Tony, I'm just really curious. I mean, you've seen a lot over the years, and you help a lot of different companies. What advice would you give to aspiring professionals looking to enter the entertainment industry, particularly in production and financial management roles?
That's a tough one. And ask yourself why before you start down the journey. It's great because, for instance, at CMS, everybody we hire has a college degree, but they don't necessarily have to have a degree in business or accounting. They have to have a degree because they have to know how to problem solve, know how to think, how to organize themselves, how to communicate via email. And with organization, most people, can use Excel and et cetera. They can learn all the rest later. So that would be go to school, and at some point in time, take some accounting classes so that you know the debits and credits. You know how to read a financial statement. If you want to move up in the ladder and be a manager, and make sure that you're passionate about. At CMS, we all love movies. I mean, low-budget movies, and we have lunches every week, and we talk about the movies and the TV shows, and we get into them and the plots and all that. So we love the entertainment industry. We love, we're all, since we're signatory to a lot of commercials and marketing campaigns, we all love TMZ. And we're kind of passionate about what you do. So if you're kind of like iffy and, you can try it out, but you should be passionate about it and have a desire, because we are, although we're a small cog, we're a cog in getting these things produced. We have a staff all hands on deck meeting every Wednesday. It's done via Zoom or Teams. And at the end, we show, Katie, my partner, shows a celebrity or an aspect of a celebrity campaign that we're working. And it's a lot of fun. And we learn a lot and, asking questions and stuff like that. And they're all different and quirky and other. So be passionate about the industry.
Speaking of passion for the industry, as you look to the future, what new projects or initiatives are you excited about at CMS Productions?
Well, what we're seeing is in the commercial space is more and more agencies and brands getting into producing content. We're seeing shrinking budgets because the distribution platforms are immense, and they're spending the money on influencers and celebrities. So we're there to take advantage of it. So that's definitely a trend. And I also think that there's a lot sort of more, even though the budgets aren't as high, there's a lot more content being produced. And so we can help producers and agencies produce that content. So we're excited about that. I mean, it's like a new kind of market for us. And in terms of the filmed entertainment, we're signatory to low-budget theatrical agreement and other IAA agreements. And we're glad that the strike is over, and we're seeing a really serious increase in production in that particular area. And we're just, helping our clients if they've got, we worked on the film Ferrari, and they took a number of U.S. people over to Italy to work on the film. We were signatory for those U.S. people, and then they came back and did post here. So we were the signatory. So we helped that, help the producers, shoot in various locations by virtue of they could cover their very talented IA crews. Members function in various different parts of the world. So we're seeing more and more global production, or things split up between countries and stuff like that.
That is awesome. Well, Tony, thank you for being on production. Thank you for the amazing work you do at CMS. You guys provide a tremendous amount of support to filmmakers all over the world. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your experience with me today.
Well, thank you, Cameron. And I just want to congratulate you on what you guys have accomplished at Wrapbook. You guys are a first-class organization, and we enjoy dealing with you. So
thanks, Tony.